What if I told you that the most powerful warriors in history never threw a single punch, that Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, conquered his greatest enemies using a weapon so subtle his opponents didn't even realize they'd been defeated? Today, I'm revealing 13 ancient Stoic techniques that will give you an almost unfair advantage in any conflict. Techniques so powerful, they've been hidden in philosophy books for over 2,000 years. And here's the kicker: your enemy might even thank you afterwards. Picture this. You're facing someone who's trying to destroy your reputation, undermine your success, or sabotage your peace of mind. Your blood boils, your fists clench, every instinct screams, "Fight!" But wait, that's exactly what they want. The ancient Stoics discovered something revolutionary. The moment you engage in their game, you've already lost. Why? Because conflict feeds on emotion, and emotion clouds judgment. But what if you could turn their own energy against them? What if you could win without fighting? The mirror technique. Understanding your opponent's true weakness. Here's what nobody tells you about your enemies. They're broadcasting their deepest insecurities with every attack. The Stoics called this reading the soul through actions, the power move. Ask open-ended questions that force them to explain their position. Watch them crumble as they realize they're fighting shadows. That's interesting. Can you help me understand what led you to that conclusion? This isn't weakness, it's warfare at the highest level. The Seneca Test. Choosing battles like a chess grandmaster. Seneca, advisor to emperors, had a rule: every fight you avoid is a victory won. But here's the secret: it's not about backing down, it's about conservation of power. Before any conflict, ask yourself, will winning this change anything meaningful? What's the real cost of engagement? Is this person even worth your energy? The revelation. Most conflicts are distractions designed by mediocre minds to pull you down to their level. The Stoics knew that selective engagement is the ultimate power play. The Trojan Horse of communication. Weaponizing calmness. Your enemy expects anger. Give them ice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." But he left out the best part. When you remain unnaturally calm during their emotional storm, something fascinating happens. They start doubting themselves. The I statement bomb. Instead of "you're wrong," try "I'm experiencing this differently." It's verbal jujitsu. You're not attacking, you're simply existing in your truth. Watch as their aggression bounces off your calm and hits them twice as hard. The alliance paradox. Finding common ground with your enemy. This is where it gets Machiavellian. Your enemy thinks you're playing checkers. Show them you're playing 3D chess. Find one thing, just one, that you both value, and suddenly you're not enemies anymore. You're reluctant allies against a common problem. The mind bender. Sometimes the best way to destroy an enemy is to make them your asset. They can't fight you if they're fighting alongside you. The shared values trap. Making them defeat themselves. Here's psychological warfare at its finest. People can't attack their own values without destroying themselves internally. Research your opponent. Find their core values. Then align your position with those values. Now they're not fighting you, they're fighting themselves. It's checkmate in 3 moves. The Jester's Gambit. Strategic self-deprecation. When someone attacks you expecting a fight, do the unexpected. Laugh at yourself first. But here's the crucial part. You're not showing weakness. You're showing supreme confidence. You think I'm incompetent? You should see me try to parallel park. Suddenly, their serious attack looks petty. You've changed the entire energy of the confrontation. They expected a boxing match. and you turned it into a comedy show where they're the only one not laughing. The empathy weapon. Understanding as warfare. This technique is so powerful it should be classified. When you truly understand someone's pain, you hold the keys to their behavior. The Stoics knew every attack comes from a wound. Find the wound and you find the solution. But here's the twist. When you validate their feelings, not their actions, something breaks inside them. The enemy they created in their mind doesn't match the person showing them compassion. Cognitive dissonance destroys them from within. The compromise illusion, winning by losing. Let them think they've won something small while you take everything important. The Stoics called this strategic retreat. Give ground on things that don't matter. Let them feel victorious about minor points. Meanwhile, you're achieving your real objectives. They're so busy celebrating their small victory, they don't notice they've lost the war. The third-party gambit. Leveraging neutral forces. Never fight alone when you can have the universe fight for you. Bring in a mediator, but here's the key. Choose someone your opponent respects. Now it's not you versus them. It's them versus rationality itself. The neutral party becomes your weapon, and your enemy can't attack without looking unreasonable. The forgiveness paradox. The ultimate power move. This will sound insane, but stay with me. Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about power. When you forgive someone who's wronged you, you're demonstrating that they're so insignificant they can't even disturb your peace. It's the ultimate dismissal. The Stoics knew holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. But forgiveness? That's drinking the antidote while they choke on their own toxicity. The growth harvest. Turning enemies into teachers. Every enemy is a free personal trainer for your character. They're showing you exactly where your weaknesses lie. The question is, are you smart enough to accept the free education? Document every attack. Study their methods. Learn their psychology. Your enemy is accidentally making you invincible. The boundary fortress. Invisible walls they can't break. The ultimate Stoic secret. You can't be defeated if they can't reach you. Set boundaries so clear, so consistent, that attacking you becomes exhausting. Don't announce these boundaries, demonstrate them. Every time they probe, they hit the same wall. Eventually they'll give up and find an easier target. The response control, the nuclear option. This is it, the most powerful technique of all. You don't control their actions, but you have absolute power over your response. And here's what changes everything. When you respond with the opposite energy they expect, their entire strategy collapses. They bring chaos, you bring order. They bring aggression, you bring curiosity. They bring hatred, you bring indifference. You become unpredictable by being predictably excellent. They can't fight what they can't understand. Here's what Marcus Aurelius knew that your enemies don't. The person who wins without fighting hasn't just won a battle. They've transcended the entire war. These 13 techniques aren't about being passive. They're about being so strategically superior that conflict becomes unnecessary. Your enemies defeat themselves while you rise above, untouched and undefeated. Did this video just change how you see conflict forever? Drop a comment below, but here's my challenge. Tell me which technique you think your current enemy would be most vulnerable to. Let's build an army of strategic thinkers who win without fighting. Remember, the greatest victory is the battle you never had to fight. Now go forth and conquer without throwing a single punch. And before you go, let me leave you with one final thought that will haunt your enemies' sleepless nights. While they're scheming and plotting their next attack, you're building an empire. While they're consumed with destroying you, you're creating something beautiful. The ancient Stoics understood that the ultimate revenge isn't what you do to your enemies. It's what you become despite them. Your success, your peace, your unshakable confidence. That's the sound that echoes in their minds long after their petty attacks have been forgotten. So thank your enemies today, because without knowing it, they're forging you into something unstoppable. The question isn't whether you'll defeat them. The question is whether they'll even matter once you've reached your full potential. Now stop watching videos about winning and go become the person they can never touch.